Greetings, assembled gentlemen and ladies. My name is Agent Sol. My mission? To watch animated material, and to comment on said animated material. And you may be wondering why I am dressed like this today. Well, the truth is that it's classified. Yep, I am never going to say why I'm dressed like this, because my lips are sealed tighter than an impenetrable drum of illegally dumped nuclear waste. Yes, I am a rock. I am a wall! I am just a passable moat of will and fortitude, and fuck it, I am dressed like this because I think espionage is sexy as fuck! I mean, come on, you gotta admit, the whole world of being sneaky sneakersons and having nice, taut, moist sex and firing awesome guns and driving race cars is just sorta, well, I mean, not necessarily a turn-on, but it's intriguing. So, that's why we're going to take a look at the most contemporary spy animated series on television, named Archer. Archer is an adult animated series created by Adam Reed, developed by Floyd County Productions and Radical Axis, and it originally aired on the FX network in 2010 after a sneak peek of the pilot was shown in 2009. The series is currently planned to air on FX's sister network FXX, and has a total of 85 episodes aired over 7 seasons, with season 8 slated for a January 27 release, and 2 more planned seasons for the future. Okay, enough about that. It's time for me to look over my mission dossier that I wrote while I was high on angel dust at 4 in the morning. And while we do that, why don't you join me and take a nice, good look at Archer. To kick this whole affair off, Sterling Archer, codenamed Duchess, is considered the world's most dangerous secret agent. He's a suave, globe-trotting spy who conducts espionage for the International Secret Intelligence Service, or ISIS, and wait, I just need to clarify something here before I move on. When I say ISIS, I mean the fictional intelligence agency. What I don't mean is the jihadist militant group of radical terrorists who call themselves ISIS. I'm not going to make any jokes about this because I really don't think it's funny, and I honestly feel pretty bad for the series creators about this unfortunate parallel. Okay? We good? Okay, anyway. That is, when he's not dicking around with and bullying his coworkers, being berated by his mother Mallory Archer, and banging every last hot woman from Hamilton to Haiti. Together with his coworkers and the other members of ISIS, Archer goes on various missions, usually screwing them up in one way or another, most of the time with his penis. Now, I'm just giving you guys the most basic premise because this is a show that doesn't stay still for very long. And what I mean by that is it shows remarkable growth as it goes on, sending all the characters into tons of different and exotic locations and harrowing or hilariously stupid situations, some of which span entire seasons. So I'll just move on without needlessly spoiling anything, because to be honest, it'd be a crime to spoil some of the better stories in this series. And of course, my job is to stop crime, because I am a secret agent, and have always been a secret agent, and... oh god. Shit, I shouldn't have said I was a secret agent, oh god! Yes. Sorry about that, folks. I just had to go put that sniper in his place with my mad spy skills because, of course, I am a spy, and I have those skills that spies have, and yeah. What? Oh, right, sorry, Archer. Yes, where were we? Oh, right. Yeah, so let's take a look at the characters, shall we? So then, Sterling Archer is, as I said, the world's most dangerous secret agent. But don't let that prestigious title fool you. Archer is, in actuality, a self-centered, egotistical, alcoholic man-whore ass-douche who has complete contempt for his own mortality and spends most of his time either pissing off his coworkers or his ex-girlfriend Lana, spouting off rapid-fire pop culture references, or irreparably damaging many countries' gene pools with his indiscriminate banging of any female that can fog a window. Those all sound like terrible traits for a main character to have, and to be perfectly honest, if I knew someone like that in real life, I would hate his fucking guts. But, well, in fiction, I can't help but love him, assholishness included. I kinda have a thing for characters that are just completely 100% committed to being total dicks, like Rick from Rick and Morty, but it's a real fine line that Archer walks. For the most part, I do enjoy his antics, even when he's being extremely mean or annoying to everyone around him, because, like Rick Sanchez, there's a deeper layer beneath his character. It'd take too long and be too spoilery to explain this deeper layer, but let's just say that he isn't completely made of stone. Sure, he stays fairly aloof most of the time, but it's those times that he does show more of his human side that makes him not just your average dickhead with legs. He may act somewhat dumb sometimes, but he truly is a skilled agent and knows how to get out of sticky situations, thankfully. He's not just a bumbling moron that gets continually lucky throughout the series. Not to mention he gets severely injured and shot many times, which is entertaining for sure, but given how much damage his body takes, he should look like Vash the frickin' Stampede at this point. But whatever, moving on. Oh crap, I went on way too long there, folks, so from this point on I'm gonna have to do a lot of summarizing so that you don't cave your skulls in from boredom. So please refrain from touching any sharp or blunt objects for the next few minutes, because I am poor and I can't afford another lawsuit. So the rest of the cast is pretty huge and varied, but I'll have to make this quick, so I'll have to activate my super summary powers. There's Lana Kane, a secret agent at ISIS who works alongside Archer in the field, and is his ex-girlfriend. Lana has a propensity to nag people and resents Archer for, well, pretty much everything, creating long-standing friction and sexual tension between the two. Next is Cyril Figgis, ISIS's comptroller, who is kind of awkward and lacks confidence, causing him to get picked on by everyone. Though he gains more conviction as the series progresses and becomes a very active member of the operations of ISIS. Following up is Cheryl Tunt, also known as Carol, Crystal, Karina, Shirlene, and... yeah. She's a secretary at ISIS and starts out as something of a lovesick ditz, though she slowly morphs into a highly unstable, attention-craving lunatic who loves setting fires, being choked, and eating rubber cement. Then there's Pam Poovey, the head of human resources at ISIS, who participates in bare-knuckle brawling, drift car racing, heavy drinking, and just generally tearing shit up. But beyond that, Pam does seem to have a bit of a good heart and actually cares about her job and her colleagues, though that doesn't stop her from being an incorrigible gossip and doing incredibly stupid things. Also in the main lineup is Ray Gillette, a homosexual field agent at ISIS who is more often than not the voice of reason among squabbling morons, but isn't without his foolish moments too. Ray generally keeps a more positive and upbeat attitude than his colleagues, until he becomes paralyzed and adopts more of a sarcastic and bitchy attitude. Then we've got Dr. Algernon Krieger, head of developmental research at ISIS, who holds many incredibly weird fetishes and idiosyncrasies, though he isn't without skill in various fields of science, particularly bionics. And lastly from the main cast is Mallory Archer, head of ISIS and Sterling's overbearing, oversexed, emasculating, selfish, manipulative, racist mother with whom she has a very, messed up relationship. Mallory is just, wow. She's probably the most horrible woman you'll ever see, but just like with Sterling, I miraculously don't hate her. In fact, the same can be said about everyone I just listed off. They're all horrible people in their own unique ways, but they're presented in such a way that makes them all hilarious and extremely fun to watch, especially when they all get together and their personalities clash so hard you can actually see the sparks fly. And yes, I know I'm leaving out a ton of other important characters, but this is just supposed to be a general overview of the basic stuff, not an in-depth analysis, because if it was, well, we would be here till fucking July of next year. So yeah, we're just gonna move ahead to the good things, and I'll save my in-depth analysis for that section if you don't mind, people. Yes, let's just get this started, shall we? I have several important missions to go on because I am, in fact, a spy. And have always been a spy, and... Huh? What? If I'm a spy, where are my guns? Well, you know, I have them, but this is Canada, so we don't really, smoke bomb! Now then, upon close critical analysis of this series, and by that I mean binge watching it until my eyeballs started to bleed, I can definitely say that the best thing about this series is its character interactions, as well as its dialogue. The dialogue just has this magnificent flow to it, where every scene leads into the next in such a way that every episode feels almost like a fluid, entrancing dance as opposed to a scripted, storyboard-driven animated series. And that dialogue creates such captivating character relationships, which admittedly can get somewhat irritating if you marathon the series, but with the correct dosage, it manages to dish out tons of blistering humor that will have you running for your diapers, most likely more than once. I personally use Depends undergarments for my day-to-day shitting my pants needs, because you can always depend on Depends to get you through the embarrassment of humor-based anal leakage. But anyway, yes, I just love the way the characters all interact with each other, play off each other, piss each other off, and generally just come together to create some extremely funny moments and real camaraderie with one another. Not to mention I really enjoy the overall style of this show. The series itself is purposefully vague about what year it takes place in, so it uses a whole mess of different technologies and fashion styles from various different eras that make it all very visually appealing. Truth be told, there is a bit of a dark side to this, but I'll get there when I get there. And speaking of truth be told, I have to say that there's a real charge of sexiness reverberating throughout this entire thing, what with all the guns, and the fast cars, and the danger, and the exotic locales, and attractive people, and just... yeah. In terms of fantasy, I find this world to be quite an appealing one overall. In addition to all that, there's a genuine respect to the show's continuity, as tons of callbacks are made to characters and situations that would probably be forgotten pretty fast in other shows. It's actually almost up there with Gravity Falls and The Venture Brothers as one of the masters of animated continuity, and I can definitely respect that. And that leads me into my last point, which is that this show is a show of growth. Over the course of the seasons, the characters have drastically changed. Well, they're almost completely different from how they were in the beginning. And the animation greatly improves over time, allowing for more expressions and movements from everyone. This is one of the only longer-running American animated shows I've seen that, unlike Family Guy, The Simpsons, SpongeBob SquarePants, Arthur, Scooby-Doo, and many, many others, actually makes you want to start right at the beginning as soon as you reach the end, just to see how much the show grows and changes over time. It's extremely impressive, and it's just the icing on this sexy, sexy cake. Okay, that's quite enough of that, so let's just move on to the bad things, because I have many pressing matters to get to, since I am, of course, a spy, and always have been a spy. I mean, ask Paul! He'll tell you I'm a spy. Or Maurice, or Jerry, or... fuck it. Mother, can you please tell everyone on here, these good, fine people, that I am, in fact, a spy, and have always been a spy? Okay, well, thank you. 1 second, I'm just gonna put you on speakerphone. Okay, go ahead.
She is not a spy. She has never been a spy. She is fucking crazy. She just showed up on my doorstep one day and she just...
Okay. Oh, stupid. Mom, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I mean, she's kind of going senile and I have to take care of her, and it's a long, sad story, but I am definitely a spy. Yes, you can trust me. I am a spy. Thankfully, I don't have much to say here, just some minor stuff, nothing serious. I mentioned that I binge-watched this series in preparation for this review, as I usually do, but this highlighted a bit of an issue with the series. While the character interactions and dialogue are so snappy and fluid and I genuinely adore them, I have to say that elongated exposure to them can be... irritating. I mean, there's a lot of yelling and bickering and back and forthing between everyone, so it can often be, as Archer calls it,
like pulling teeth with you people!
And as I mentioned, while the animation did vastly improve over time, the first season in particular wasn't stellar in that regard. I mean, yes, the show is quite minimal in its animation, and that's fine, but the first season used awkward camera angles, and each character had only about 3 to 4 key poses that restricted their ability to do anything particularly interesting with their expressions or movements. Some people may not even notice or care, but I do, and it's just, well, not anger-inducing, but definitely noticeable enough to be distracting. And finally, just some little niggles, like some of the running jokes get tiring, such as Ray's paralysis and Pam's cocaine addiction, but thankfully they're not pushed to the point that I want to jump off a tall building. Alrighty, that's all over and done, so let's wrap up this whole thing by talking about my least favorite and favorite episodes, because that's what I always do, right? I always do the thing with the episodes at the end of every... yeah, let's just get started. I'm a spy. So it wasn't all that hard to pick a least favorite episode because there are only a couple episodes that stand out in that regard. Let me just make it clear that there are no bad episodes of Archer. They're all good in some way or the other. It's just that this one in particular I would deem the worst, and that would have to be the episode Movie Star. In this episode, a movie star named Rona Thorne visits ISIS to try and learn more about being a secret agent to research a role for her upcoming movie called Disavowed. Archer and Lana then both attempt to show Rona the ways of the secret agent, but their bickering leads them into a sticky situation. Meanwhile, Ray, Pam, and Cheryl steal Rona's diary and attempt to return it to her penthouse before they're caught. The reason I dislike this episode more than any other is literally only one thing: Rona Thorne herself. Everything else about this episode is fine, I just can't stand Rona. I've known real girls like her, and everything about her just makes me want to punch her in the tits. Not to mention the ending is just left sorta loose and is never really tied up, which irks me a bit. Like I said, still a good episode, it just has one real bad character. And to put a nice little bow on this whole affair, I'd have to say that my favorite episode was extremely hard to choose, but I think I've chosen the one. And that would have to be the episode known as Legs. After being paralyzed in events that I won't spoil here, Ray's life has been ruined, and he expresses a wish to become ambulatory again. Krieger offers him a chance to have bionic legs implanted into him, which causes Archer to freak out since he has a fear of cyborgs. What follows is every main character doing something crazy and hilarious to either perform surgery, get into Krieger's lab and stop Ray's surgery, or protect Ray from harm. This episode is my favorite because it literally has some of the best dialogue in anything I've ever seen, period. Every single second of this episode is just building upon the last, and the character interactions are, in my opinion, the best they've ever been right here. Not to mention it's funny as balls, and follows up on some claims made in the past that I won't spoil here. It's just a great episode. Archer is a fantastic foray into the satire of a spy's life, but actually manages to stand on its own as its own engaging story, with great characters, great dialogue, great comedy, great flow. It just has great, well, everything, and it makes you really crave the life of a spy. Despite a few hiccups, I would definitely say that the entire experience is overwhelmingly enjoyable. And yeah, it makes me want to go out and be a real spy, except maybe not with so many bullets being pumped into my body on a daily basis. I give Archer four eyes out of 5. So, Archer, is it watchable? Well, like I said, the first season does have some noticeable lulls in the animation that might take you out of the situation, but for the overwhelming majority of the series, yes. Yes, it is. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Yes. Full stop. Don't think I need to say anything more than that. Is it memorable? Well, I'd say you'd have to have psychogenic retrograde amnesia to have to forget this series. And to be honest, there's 3 more seasons of badassery to come, so I don't think it's going to be fading from anyone's consciousness anytime soon, not to mention its supreme rewatchability. So, that's the end of the review. Now back to my life of secrets and sexiness, because I am a spy, and I have always been a... Hey, what the hell are you doing in my house? Oh, shit. Shit! Sorry about that, everyone. I guess that's what happened to the 3rd clone, and, it looks like she thinks she's a spy now. So, looks like I'm gonna have to go deal with that. So, if you'll excuse me. Want to stay up to date with all the latest EyeofSol news? You can follow me on Twitter as well as on Facebook at twitter.com/EyeofSol299 and facebook.com/EyeofSol. I update them every day, so if you want to check out news on the show as well as updates, just follow the links here. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my review of Archer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate a like and a share of this review, as well as a subscription to my channel, because I really do appreciate that. If you want to check out the previous Sol episodes, you can see the annotations playing on the video right now. Or if you want to check out my various social media sites, you can see my links to my Twitter page and my Facebook page there on the screen for you, as well as in the description. If you have an idea for an animated series or movie you want me to comment on, you can leave me a message in the YouTube comments on any one of my social media sites, or just let me know in any way you can think of to let me know what you want to see, and I will add it to my list. Okay? Thanks again for watching everyone, and I will see you next week for another movie review.